In the idyllic town of Oakhaven, where the air hummed with the scent of wildflowers and the stars blanketed the night like spilled sugar, a darkness had taken root. Children, the town's very heart, were disappearing. It started subtly, a mother waking to an empty crib, a boy vanishing from his backyard, leaving only a scattered pile of blocks. As the disappearances became more frequent, fear seized the hearts of the townspeople, their laughter turning to hushed whispers. Elara, a sharp-eyed girl of 10, was the first to notice the strange, shimmery dust that would cling to the windowsills of the stolen children's homes. It wasn't like any dust she'd ever seen. It pulsed with a faint, iridescent glow, like crushed moonstones. She told no one, sensing that adults in their frantic grief wouldn't believe her. Instead, she started keeping watch. One moonless night, the air grew unusually still. Even the crickets were silent. Elara, huddled under her blanket, felt a chill creep into her room, a chill that seemed to have no source. Through the cracked window, she saw something that made her blood run cold, a figure, shimmering and ethereal, weaving between the houses. It was like a cloud of shadow and light, its form constantly shifting, but the glow of the dust seemed to emanate from within it. Elara followed it, her heart pounding against her ribs. It led her deep into the whispering woods, a place where even the bravest souls hesitated to venture after dark. The trees, ancient and gnarled, seemed to lean in, their branches whispering warnings. The air grew heavy with the scent of damp earth, and something else, something sweet, intoxicating, yet faintly repulsive. Finally, they reached a clearing, a place that pulsed with a strange bioluminescent light. The figure stopped before an ancient, twisted oak, its trunk like a maw into the earth. It was there that Elara saw them, children, dozens of them, their faces pale and their eyes empty, as if the light within them had been extinguished. And on their backs, where small, smooth skin had once been, wings were sprouting. But they were not wings of fairies or angels. They were skeletal, like the wings of bats or dried-out leaves, with leathery membranes stretched tight over bone-like frames. From the twisted roots of the oak, a figure emerged. It was an elemental forest dweller, a creature born of moss, bark, and ancient sap. Its eyes, the color of wet moss, held a cold, ancient sadness. "You follow," it rumbled, its voice like the rustling of dry leaves. "But you are too late." Elara watched in horror as the creature, with a wave of its branch-like arm, beckoned the children. They moved like sleepwalkers, their new skeletal wings fluttering uselessly as they were led through the maw of the twisted oak. Elara didn't know what happened to the children in the dark realm, but she saw the results. A few days later, a strange creature appeared in Oakhaven. It had the face of a child, but its eyes were soulless, devoid of the sparkle of laughter. It possessed the same leathery, skeletal wings as the children in the woods, and a cloak made of moss and leaves. It flitted about the town, its movements jerked and unnatural, carrying out the bidding of the forest dweller, stealing objects, leaving cryptic messages, sowing fear. Elara, having witnessed the horrific transformation, knew that the children were lost. The forest dweller had turned them into these soulless winged fairies, their innocence and joy twisted into something dark and unnatural. The idyllic town of Oakhaven was no more, replaced by a place where the air was heavy with the scent of fear and the only sound was the haunting rustle of leathery wings. Elara, having witnessed the horrific transformation, knew that the children were lost. The forest dweller had turned them into these soulless winged fairies, their innocence and joy twisted into something dark and unnatural. The idyllic town of Oakhaven was no more, replaced by a place where the air was heavy with the scent of fear, and the only sound was the haunting rustle of leathery wings.